Hello, this is something I've been wanting to do for some time. So basically, what I wanted to do is just draw how I draw mermaids in my usual way. I mean, I have bad memory, but I might have shown a video of myself drawing mermaids before, but it's kind of old, a year ago. Yeah, but never got really a chance to properly detail how I draw my work. So let's just start. So I'm using Valra Pocket. It's a free drawing program you can get, and I've been using it for like years at this point, ever since I was in like high school when I got my Surface Pro. But anyway, I usually go for this image size. So yeah. So before I start drawing mermaids, I had to go through my basic how I draw my character. So let's draw a normal human first, so we can familiarize ourselves. So it's basic circle. Sometimes this usually goes like this, and circle a rectangular body, and the BFDI like legs and limbs. Sometimes I draw in, and sometimes I use a paint tool. So this is how I draw a basic human character. Alright, let's actually draw a mermaid. What I usually do is just, for my large selection of colors from this palette, I usually, if I want to draw like a color scheme for my characters, I usually just pick a color and just leave it until I start coloring. So let's draw a blue mermaid, something that is vibrant. Like, this should be a good start. Maya blue, I guess. So same thing here, just a circle. It's just a circle and a body. Now for the tail part, it varies like this, so this goes this way, that way, sitting like this. Sometimes it takes a lot of time to. I later erase this part. If I want to like draw a mermaid with the tail straight from top to bottom, it has to like be like this. But let's draw her with the tail facing right. Sometimes it's a trial and error of if I want to feel like drawing the right shape of the tail. So it's not really too thick or too thin, just how I feel it. Along with it connects the body well. You could say, oh, your style is a little easy. It should be simple. It is simple, but there's still some bit of nuance on how I do it. Because if you see me doing this a lot, undoing, trying to get the shape right, then yeah. But it's a bit more faster than traditional art styles. Alright, this looks good enough. So the tail waist, that's how I usually call this area. There's like different ways I can draw. This is like my default ways, the ribbing I call it. There's also the fish lips, which I do like this, which I erase the obstructing part. Or I could do the scaly bit where I also do this. But let's do the fish lips for this mermaid. Yeah. Now for the fin. Super simple, like that. But there's a bit of variation of how I do fins. Like this one. This one. Heart shape from some of my mermaid characters. But let's just go with the default kind of thing. Time to erase the inner part of the waist. Usually you can tell some parts are like erased or not, or just filled in, but sometimes I don't really care because you had to look very closer to notice, but whatever, it's good. Well, hair, well, there isn't much I can do about hair because sometimes for most mermaids they have like very long hair, so I usually go with like a sword samey kind of, but let's go with this kind of long hair. It's kind of similar to like Linda, I guess, but whatever. And let's give her a happy face and eyelashes, because to show she's a girl. Now for the chest area. Sometimes you just go to this kind of bra. Sometimes it can be like this, like aquas. For the shells, I just do like this, like line. But if I feel a bit quote unquote, well, horny to say the least, but I just do like this for the if I wanted to do the bit cleavage kind of thing. So let's give her that, because mermaids are that attractive and hot, lack of better terms. So, even on my art style, I can still do that kind of thing. So let's give her this kind of shells. And again, erase some inner bits. Or I can do a faster approach, so I just I usually make a separate layer of a layer like this, so I can usually fill in the like that. And just include it right here. And the cleavage is as simple as this. Better, I guess. Okay, now it's usually a time for me to just easily color in. For the other parts, I just usually lighten the fin or the waist. Sometimes the waist depends on the waist if it's like the same color as the tail or her overall style. But for the fishy lips, I usually lighten it up by just moving it, adjusting the color wheel like this. So we good? Okay, now the scales. Back then, I do scales. Fuck. Ignore that. I do scales like just use blacks and do like this, but nowadays I don't do that because it just doesn't look right. It wasn't until I just discovered I can just take this, use the same color as a scale and just darken it, and use the pen with pressurize to, along with discovering a pattern I can use, so it makes it much more scaly, because I do like tails, mermaid tails that are scaly. I can go crazy with it. It depends on the way the tail looks. But yeah, this is how I draw mermaid scales on the tail. Doesn't matter if it continues, but just show that there's scales on it like that. And yeah, that's how I draw a mermaid like this. Isn't she cute? Alright, I guess I need to do another mermaid design, just not without me talking, so enjoy me drawing a separate mermaid. This time I'm gonna do a green one, because green is my favorite color. Looks like she's done. I guess I could end this off. So if you enjoy the my art and see me draw, consider following on my social medias. Like, I'm usually on Twitter posting art, but I occasionally do post my art on my YouTube post. But oh well, I hope you enjoy that. Probably next time if I decide to draw something too on here, but yeah, I'll consider it. So thank you for watching me draw, and later.